As an upcoming designer, I know you are in age to start making a dramatic design, just like what you're seeing on the screen right now. You want to make lovely, trending, beautiful wears, just like all these pictures. But I want to carve your nerves this morning. I want to tell you that you should take it easy on yourself. Start from the beginning, and at the end of the day, the work will be very easy for you. So in this video, I am going to be teaching you how to draft a basic bodice, and afterward we are going to be referring to the video in our future videos. So without wasting time, let's get started. On my paper here right now, you have the measurements needed. So I have my shoulder measurement 16 inches, armhole measurement 16 inches, bust circumference 36, waist circumference 32, hip circumference 40, bust span 8 inches, shoulder to bust line 10 inches, and shoulder to waistline 10 inches. So there are some measurements that will be divided into 2, and there are some that will be divided into 4. Do you understand? So please, if you want to venture into fashion design, you need to embrace calculation. So my back measurements, which is my shoulder, will be divided into 2, and I'm going to be having 8 inches. My armhole circumference will be divided into 2, and I'm going to be having 8 inches. My bust, waist, and hip circumference will all be divided into 4 because they are round measurements. So if I divide 36 by 4, I'm going to be having 9. 32 divided by 4, I am going to be having 8, and 40 by 4, I am going to be having 10. So those are the measurements. The rest of the measurements are not needed except your bust span. Your blouse length, your shoulder to bust line, your shoulder to waistline is not needed to be divided. Those are vertical measurements. Go back to our measurements guide or measurement video so that you'll be able to know those ones that you need to divide and those ones that you don't need to divide. So these are the calculations you need to make before you start drafting your pattern. The moment, and my bust span is measurement, that's nipple to nipple measurements. So from one bust point to the other, the measurement you've got divided into 2. 8 divided by 2 will give me 4 inches. So we have right there on my table the box that I've drawn. How do I get this box? How do I come about this box? So let's get started. The very first thing you need to do is measure your blouse length. On the vertical line, you are expected to measure your blouse length. My blouse length is 24 inches on the vertical line, and whereas on the horizontal line, that is the width of the box, you are to measure, you are to know the one that is the highest circumference that you've got. So my hip is the highest circumference. If it is your waist that is your highest circumference, that's the what you are using to map up your box. So because I am drafting half of the front and I'm drafting half of the back, so it means that my width has to be 40 divided by 2. 40 divided by 2 will give me 20 inches, and that is what I have. So on my table right here, I have 20 by 24. So the next thing for me to do is to divide the box into 2 equal parts. If I'm having the width, if the width is 20 inches, if you want to divide it into 2, you are expected to have 10 inches. So that is the line I am drawing as we speak. So you divide it into 2. The next thing for you to do is to decide which one is going to be the front and the one which is going to be the back. So now on the shoulder line, that is the first line I drawn, is expected to be my shoulder line. So the next thing for me to do is to start drawing all that horizontal line, and those ones are gotten by my vertical measurement. The vertical measurement are my shoulder to bust line, shoulder to waistline, and the rest like that. So the very first line I'm going to draw right now is my chest line, and chest line is being gotten by armhole circumference divided by 2. It is written on my measurement book right there. So your armhole circumference divided by 2 is going to form your chest line. My armhole is 16 divided by 2 will give me 8, and that is the line I am drawing right now. So the next line I'm to draw right now is my bust line. My bust line, shoulder to bust line is 10 inches from the book, and shoulder to waistline is 16 inches. So that is what I have on my table right now. So I am going to connect the lines and draw the lines right now. So I already have my shoulder line, my chest line, my bust line, and my waistline. So the last line is serving to be my hem line or my blouse length line. So when you have all these lines drawn, the next thing for you to do is to name them. So I already named my lines. I have my bust line, bust waistline, blouse length. I already named all my lines: shoulder line, chest line, bust line, waistline, and my blouse length. So the next thing for me to do is to start applying my circumference measurements. So on the first line that is having to be my shoulder line, I am to apply half of my back measurement. My back measurement is 16. Half of it is what? 8 inches. And I'm doing the same on the chest line. The next thing for me to do is to connect a straight line down. See what I'm doing? I'm connecting the straight line down. Now before I move further, I want to work on the part of the neckline. Sorry, the part is not really showing, but the neck width I have there is 3.5, while the neck depth is 4 inches. You can do neck circumference of your choice and neck ratio of your choice. So now the next thing for me to do is to measure 1 inch to serve as my shoulder slope. Our shoulder is not straight, it's been slanted, so you have that like that. The next thing for you to do is to measure the remaining measurements you have there, locate the midpoints, then go in by 1 inch, just like what I've just done. So, and after doing that, apply quarter of your bust circumference. My bust circumference is 36, quarter of it is 9 inches. So I am applying 9 inches on it, and I'm marking a curve that is going to be starting from the shoulder tip up to the 1 inch curved and is stopping at my bust, the bust measurement I've drawn. So I am using my armhole curve to connect the curve. Can you see? Now I have my shoulder and my chest line being settled. The next thing for me to do is to work on my waistline and my blouse length line. So I am to apply quarter of my waist circumference on the waistline. So quarter of my waist circumference is 8 inches plus 1 inch, that becomes 9 inches. So you mark it that, and the last line is 10 inches, and I use 10 inches to draw my line already. So the next thing for me to do is to connect all the line together. So my blouse is almost ready. Can you see? So my blouse is almost ready. So everything I have on the front, I am going to replicate it to the part of the back right now. The only part that is going to be different is on the neckline section and the armhole section. Do you understand? So I'm going to replicate that right now on the armhole section. So as for the back, the neck width is the same thing with the front, but the neck depth is a bit higher. I use 4 inches for the, I use what's it called, 4 inches for the depth of the front, but I'm using 3 inches the ear. And the part of the armhole, you don't necessarily need to go in by 1 inch. You can go in by half an inch, or you connect your armhole just the same way I am doing in this video. So every other thing has been measured. You have your bust, you have your waist, you have your blouse length line, everything is settled. So the next thing for me to do is to apply my dart. That is a shaper that make the outfit to be fitted on the waistline. If I use this pattern to make an outfit, it's going to be loosed on me. Remember that I have added 1 inch as that before. So the next thing for me to do is to locate where my dart is going to be situated, and your dart is going to be situated around your bust, around your waistline, but we are going to be using our bust span to get that measurement. My bust span is 8 inches. 8 divided by 2 will give me 4, and that is what I am marking. So your dart is starting from 1 inch below the bust line. As you are seeing me, your dart is starting from 1 inch below the bust line and is ending 3 inches or 3.5 above the hip line. That is if you are working with full block as what we are doing in this video. Do you understand? So it should be balanced. Do you see what I'm doing? Then I'm connecting those 3 lines together. Then remember, it was 1 inch we added as that, so I'm going to be sharing that 1 inch in between the 2 lines. So I have half an inch. Then you connect your, that the same way I am doing right now, and I'm going to be doing the same to the part of the back. So everything I've done that. So don't forget that your dart is being measured from the center back, not from the side. It's measured from the center back, not from the side. But your dart measurement is starting from the chest on the bust line here. Is not starting from 1 inch below the bust line. So we have that. The last but not the least that we are supposed to do is to alter our center back. Our center back is not straight. If you touch yourself, you decide that your center back is not straight, all what you need to do is to come in by 1 inch from the waistline, then connect it to the part of the neckline. See what I'm doing? I'm connecting to the part of the neckline, then I'll connect it back to my hip line or my blouse length. So the measurements I've reduced there, as in the measurement I've taken out there, I need to add it back to the side so that I don't have shortage on my outfit. So I'm gonna be connecting it just like what you're seeing right now. So, and I'm going to be ruling this out because they are serving to be my waist product. So this part, so I'm going in all those parts that are marked, they are like waist products. I'm not going to be cutting out my dart, but my dart is serving to be what? To be shaped on the fabric. So we are done with our outfit. The next thing for me to do is to cut out. So as I'm cutting right now, see what I'm doing? Can you see? So I am going to be cutting. Okay, so don't forget that part is part of your measurement. You don't cut it out, it is part of your measurements. So this is what I have. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Please like, send comment, share, and drop the next. Okay, I am done drafting. Now, there is something I want to call your attention into. There is something curved. Okay, now before I go to that, our center front is expected to be cut on fold. Yes, you know that your front outfit is supposed to be one piece, so you are supposed to add sewing allowance at the side, 1 inch at the down part, 1 inch at the side, 0.5 to the neckline, armhole, and the shoulder section. So you are going to be adding 1 inch to the part of the zipper, both sides. As for the back, and you are measuring that one in the same way this shape it is. You are not measuring it straight up, you're measuring it the same way. So you're adding 1 inch to the down part, 0.5 to the neckline, 0.5 to the shoulder, and 0.5 to the armhole section. The last but not the least that I did not add in this is the shaping at the side M part. Do you understand? Yes, it is always nice and fine if you shape your blouse length. If you do not shape it, it just looks straight up. So all what you need to do is to fold your paper together like this, because I've cut it already. So I'm going to go up. I'm going to measure 2 inches above the blouse length line. Do you see? So I mark a dot, then I'll connect it to my dart line. You can use 2 inches, you can use 1.5, whichever one that you want to use is fine. So I'm going to be connecting them together. Okay, so we are done. Kindly subscribe to my channel, like, share this video so that others can learn as well. Guess what? I said the other time that you are going to be cutting this place on fold. So you are going to be cutting one piece for the front panel, and for the back you are going to be cutting times two pieces for the back. One is going to be serving as the right, and the other one is going to be serving as the left, and we are going to be having our zipper insertion at the center back. So this is our pattern, and we are done with our cutting section, our drafting section. If you have any question, you can drop it to the comment section. I'll be there to answer all your questions. I remain Abigail from Abiado Apparel. We have some paid classes that you can enjoy and upgrade your sewing skill. So you can check me out on Facebook, on Instagram as Abiado Apparel and Abiado Apparel 1. Thank you. Bye.